moldy cheese, perhaps. he's a little moldy.
I love the way that Brood just changes the way Dota's played. Like suddenly there's this hero you have to address.
So you love techies then?
Techies, Broods, Alks, Meepos. Suddenly the game becomes about this hero, but then you've got one on both sides. So it's like, well, it's about the Brood. It's about the Alk.
So which one is it more about for you this game? It sounded like BSJ thinks it's probably the Alk, and the Brood is going to have to change her play style to shut him down.
Yeah, I think Brood, you can normally be super greedy and not care about too much how fast you push the mid-tier 1. You just want to farm up your item timings, like your Aghanim Scepter, and then start going into like whatever late game items you want. But against an Alk, you have to, I think, play more aggressive than you normally would. You know, Brood is obviously known for running over towers and heroes very early on in the game, but it's also this hero that scales a lot better than it used to with the Ags upgrade, with the talents. The Spiderlings scale so well with these talents. But playing against an Alk, I don't think you want to go late game and be feeding away a bunch of Spiderlings.
Let's see how it pans out as the teams are going to invade each other's jungles, do a little outpost swapperoo. It does force the Death Prophet of Charlie into the safe lane, and generally not how we see Charlie play on this, you know, more of like a utility team fighter who is not going to AFK farm all game.
I think it's a big part of why they didn't mind going for this cheesy Brood pick without having last pick, because they knew it would force this Death Prophet onto Charlie, and that's just not how chicken fighters generally win games. So it had this double effect where 1, you cheese them, and 2, you make them play a different strat that they're less comfortable with.
We'll keep eyes on the Brood versus Alk lane. Our side lanes and Ursa, pretty forgotten hero with the Chen backing out versus a double stun combo, Centaur and Rubik.
Yeah, Centaur Rubik, this has become one of the iconic dual lanes of modern Dota. You have the Centaur who gains a bunch of bonus damage and the Rubik who makes the enemy lose a bunch of damage, and you just win every right-click trade when you combine what Retaliate does with Fade Bolt.
And even with Fury Swipes, I don't know if that's going to be enough, as we do see Toby's Courier going down quite early here to Charlie.
Yeah, not sure how that happens.
Just dragged it too close to the creep wave, gets punished as Aramis also posting up on Seneko. Yep. Does have the early headdress this time around, no Bassi for him, even though it's a lane where they could probably use the Bassi more.
Yeah, in theory, I guess you're happy with Death Prophet able to Crypt Swarm the range creeps, but the Bassi Death Prophet's like, yeah, I can take some mana. But perhaps feeling like they're going to get pressured a bit more with the Harass.
Maybe he listened to the cast real quick and agreed with your feedback.
I'm sure it's, Seniko's like, yeah, this God's guy, never heard of him. You know, he's a Russian player, probably doesn't know even who I am. Is like, yeah, let's listen to him. But yeah, this lane's going to be interesting to see how the Brood versus Alk matchup does go, since obviously you got to be very careful with your Spiderlings. Normally you don't worry too much about feeding a little bit gold here and there, but Alk, one of those heroes that you have to make sure that you never feed away too many spiders in that acid spray going for any kind of a kill.
Well, so far a 400 gold lead for Supreme. Obviously the Spiderling army can farm these camps. They did do a 2-for-2 bounty rune trade at the start of the game.
I think Brood doesn't usually actually win the mid matchups until like level 3, level 4. You need to build up your Spiderling army. Level 1, you're pretty weak, in fact. Level 2, a similar thing. You don't normally have many Spiderlings right away from your level 1 spawn Spiderlings. So we'll see how the matchup changes as Brood gets levels, since that's where she does start to accelerate, while Alk will... I mean, Alk also accelerates. That's the thing. Alk theoretically matches the Brood's pace and also stops Brood from pushing the tower, since Acid Spray is physical damage. The spiders are more susceptible to physical damage than magic. You can see there, 39% magic resistance. And Acid, you just plonk that on your tower and Spiderlings will have to run away.
And once he gets Radiance, good luck.
Yeah.
At that point, the Spiderlings are not doing anything in fights. So... still a ways to go for that, but Supreme already with the double bracer. He's very durable in this lane. Doesn't seem like there's any chance of a kill in the mid lane, but in the side lanes, there well could be. Seneko being hounded here by Toby. Needed another lucky shot or two, doesn't get it. We'll have to back away.
Yeah, some good harass, but Seneko does have a salve. Surprisingly, Centaur doing very poorly down bottom lane. That's, to me, the biggest surprise of this laning stage. He does have 13 Retaliate charges, so I believe he's just been saving them, and now he's going to use them with the Hoofstomp to do some damage. This is how you want to play this. When you get the Retaliate, you go in super aggressive.
Bodied by that.
And he saved them for the level 2 Retaliate, I believe, so yeah, a lot of bonus damage there. You can see plus 58 and Shad being forced to instantly salve up, and Centaur will get all of these last hits with the bonus damage. So he may have started off out slow, but Saberlight, he's a fast finisher as he gets a lot of last hits and some good harassing.
Well, great to be that in Dota. Maybe not in other arenas of life, but for now he'll be happy.
So how's Charlie looking? 18 last hits to Pengo's 21 with 8 denies. I'd say Death Prophet not really the strongest safe lane hero, generally speaking. Maybe if you're playing against some of those really tanky strength offlaners, but...
They're diving the Death Prophet up top. This could be a kill. Gets off the Spirit Siphon. They might need one more lucky shot proc, and he's not going to get it.
Yeah, Sneeko doesn't even need the Blinding Light in the end. Has a salve as well, but that's still good harass. That means you're forcing Death Prophet to use regen while you're bullying her away from creeps, so even not getting the kill, it's still a win as far as how the trade goes. You can see Chicken Fighters, they're forced to just play this pull game. They're trying to deny XP, keep the wave pulled back, because anytime the lane is away from the tower, these heroes coddle Death Prophet, so susceptible to getting gone on. Bounty Rune time. It's an Alchemist game. You've always got to keep a close eye on who's getting those.
Will Celery get this one? It looks like it'll be at least a 2 for 2, and maybe a 3 for 3, and a first blood. Yeah, Viking, they'll take that. Delaying Supreme and securing bounties.
Yeah, 3 for 1 trade is probably what you'd normally expect to get. It's pretty hard to get all 4. You should be always getting both 2 up top with this, both heroes committing to it, and then one of the 2 down bottom. So I'd say that's like close to an even Bounty Rune trade when there's an Alchemist in the game. But the first blood making it very Viking GG favored.
Well, Brood is keeping the pace thus far. About 20 CS up on Alk, and that puts her only around 300, 400 gold down.
Yep.
So we'll see how that continues. Eventually, she should slip behind at least a bit, just through the Grievel's Greed. But the Bounty Runes plus the CS advantage is making a decent difference.
Why did he use Cookie on there?
I
think he misclicked a creep when he tried to use on the Ursa, maybe?
Yeah. Well, would have been a tough kill anyway, but at least would have given them a chance. Instead, Saberlight will live to fight another day. This does leave Toby on an island for a moment up top, but he's had a nice start. Yeah. Already has the completed urn with the charge, so he's feeling good.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they can actually deal with Toby with these 2 heroes by themselves.
Saberlight.
I think he's dead. If you just save the Cookie so there's no TP out, Aramis going to run around. He's got the haste rune, Saberlight. Yeah, he should know he's dead. He's being body blocked.
Body blocks here. Celery doing good work to slow him down. Now the Cookie comes through. Scatter Blast at the ready. Needs another auto attack though, and he plinks him from distance. Looked like a sniper there.
Yeah, that was a lot closer perhaps than it needed to be. Looked like he used the Cookie at the perfect time to get the nice melee range Scatter Blast, but Centaur almost surviving.
So, how do you feel the game's going, Gods? It's a slight net worth lead for Viking. Is that good enough? You're up against an Alk. He is still free farming.
I think both teams are kind of getting what they would want out of this game. Perhaps the top lane you would have hoped to go a bit better for your Chicken Fighters, but I think...
Oh, they won Supreme.
Nice.
This time the Cookie's on point. They try to lock him down, but he's got the Chemical Rage. They can't commit into that.
They force the rotations, but this wasn't Ursa commitment. This is a level 5 Ursa starting to rotate early. Shad not going to be playing any kind of a hard carry this game with the Brood on the team. He's looking to be active, to invade. He's going for this early treads, which we're seeing as the new Ursa build.
Toby. Oh, he's pushing it to the limit here in the top lane. The Spirit Siphon probably going to cost him his life. It will. Charlie using that last charge and securing the kill. Now lobbing out the tips, the double tip strat coming out early in the game as they wrestle for psychological advantage.
Yeah, very overcommitting on the Toby Pengo there. And once you're committed and you have Spirit Siphon on you, he can't back out. If he runs away, it looks kind of dumb because he's still trying to fight when he's obviously losing and dying. But if he runs, the Death Prophet will just follow you with the Spirit Siphon. So at that point, he's just too hard committed and he's overplayed his lane. So that's really nice for the Death Prophet. To go back to your question, like, who's happy with this? I think both teams kind of go what they want. Alk is getting the good farm. The key thing is, how fast can Viking maybe take this mid tier 1 tower? If they can take it before Alk has Radiance and then contest his jungle, slow down that Radiance, that's when the game looks really good for them. Whereas for Chicken Fighters, you're looking to keep all your tier 1 towers alive as long as possible.
Well, the Brood Mama closing in on Diffusal Blade. At that point, there is some kill threat here.
Oh, yeah.
And Alk doesn't have the mono regen on his ult anymore, so it's something you have to keep in mind as an Alk player.
Yep.
No sort of mono-region items of any kind, actually. At
He's
the
got
moment.
the shovel. He's going to be praying for some bounty runes.
And
Nope.
not what he's looking
He's
for.
had double salve so far, I believe. Maybe one was a starting
Bottom
salve.
lane, looks like Saberlight was forced to TP out. No stunning creeps here to prevent that. I did go all the way back to base, so that'll give Era the lane.
We're seeing Toby getting zoned out of this lane a bit. Perhaps he is going to be needing that support to come back in. I like the fast vessel, not going for any kind of a greedy build. No javelin, no selfish items. They recognize this is an alchemist game, and they also have Death Prophet. Who's building the spirit vessel? That's the first question they probably asked at the end of this draft when Alk was picked, was whose job is it? We need it as fast as possible. It has to be a core hero. Brood's like, nah, it's not me. Ursa's like, nah, it's not me. So it's you, Toby. The faster that comes online, the faster Viking can take team fights.
What a team player, this Toby guy. Aramis is going to snipe Alk's courier. It looks like one more auto attack. No, you can't see it. Gets fogged.
They're going in on
but
mid.
they're going
Supreme.
in on the Alk, and they will get the kill.
Nice
looking for
rotation from
Saberlight.
Ursa.
Good cookie follow-up. Getting Chad involved early
Charlie
and often.
might die.
And now Charlie's might go down with the exorcism. He
melted.
gets shredded. Whoa, way too much damage. And just like that, not only are they going to slow down the Alk's farm and take his jungle, but they get a triple kill on top.
Shad's play around this mid lane has been very impressive to watch. Nice move from Sneeko to secure a bounty rune, though. It will make it a 2-for-2 trade, perhaps, as Toby's trying to block Sneeko from getting the other bounty rune. Looks like he'll succeed in doing so and get a kill for this. So Sneeko in the end only gets one bounty rune and dies for it. So very clear advantage going Vikings' way after the first 10-minute bounty rune battle and the Tier 1 tower. We talked about how fast can you take these Tier 1 towers. That's what kind of secures the Alk's farm, is keeping these Tier 1s alive. And it's Shad's Ursa who's making this rotation. This is the second time he's come mid. He is more than happy just to leave his bottom lane. He's not playing as a carry this game. He feels more like an offlaner with how active he's being. And that is exactly how what you got to do to deal with an alchemist.
It seems his role is just to hate on the Alk. And so far, Shad doing it to perfection.
We'll see Supreme head towards the top jungle.
Another smoke. Viking are chewing through these. That's, I think, 3.
They want to slow down that Radiance timing. There's such a big difference between getting like a 12-minute Radiance and a 15-minute Radiance. Even if you slow it down by a minute, because of the way Alk farms with Greevil's Greed being exponential.
The cookie Shad forward. He's just not quite in range, though. Chemical
Still
Rage is
get
on
the Orb of
cooldown.
Venom slow.
They have to use the Stampede to get it back to safety. Does have Relic Gold now.
Still no Radiance, and even just that move there slows down his Radiance by probably 30 seconds, maybe even more. So even not killing him can sometimes feel okay, assuming you still have other heroes farming on the map, which Toby's doing top and Boom is doing mid. The reason Ursa has to fight and not the Pengo is because this Pengo Spirit Vessel is the most key item in the game. Typically, you'd be saying, well, Ursa can just keep farming while Pengo fights, but until they have Spirit Vessel, they don't want Toby leaving top.
Well,
so
there's the Spirit Vessel. A sub-12-minute Spirit Vessel for a Pango who was left alone for about 4 minutes.
yeah.
This is a real problem for the Alk, and this is an even bigger problem. He's going to walk right into Boom. They start chasing him with the cookie.
He might survive this. The
Insatiable Hunger
nice.
not online. Do they need it? The Mortimer's Kiss is raining down. They'll get the kill. Now they try to hunt Era.
He's not even level 6 on Rubik.
Jeez, this Alk is getting destroyed.
That's the biggest kill we've seen yet this game. That one right there. This is you've got Relic, you're close to your Radiance. It's, you're about to get that 12, 13-minute Radiance and suddenly you die. You're pretty high level 2 because you've had all this solo XP in the lane as well as in the jungle. So your respawn time is pretty long and suddenly your Radiance isn't coming until 14, 15 minutes. So if you looked at the win rate of Alk, I'm sure like a 11, 12-minute Radiance probably has a way higher win rate than a 15-minute Radiance.
Well, one of the, as we'll see them rotate to try and kill Saberlight here. But one of the key ingredients of delaying him is the dewarding. There was a couple of dire wards on their side of the map, and now there's just nothing. They have absolutely no vision. Nowhere feels safe to farm for this Alk, and that has enabled them to slow him down and to find the kills.
That was a big kill. They needed that for Toby. He used up all his Spirit Vessel charges, so he gets 2 more, and they get a tower with the kill. So they're taking another Tier 1 tower, giving him more access into this dire jungle.
And Brood is ahead of Alk. That is a bad sign.
Agreed.
Very bad indeed.
The part of the game where you have to go to the enemy jungle as an Alk to finish your Radiance, I imagine those games are also more often losses than wins, because typically you're hoping that your jungle remains a safe place to farm and to finish your Radiance, and that has not been the case for poor chicken fighters. And it's not even the Alk that's suffering by himself. It's like your teammates. Your Centaur is bottom 4 net worth, and Death Prophet Charlie, usually top 1, top 2 net worth in the game, has got nothing in terms of items. He's going to melt to the physical damage of heroes like Ursa and Brood. Anytime they get on top of Charlie, he's just done for if he doesn't have like a Stampede or something to save him.
Is there any hope for chicken fighters? How do they salvage this sinking ship?
They need like one really big team fight when they get this Alk Radiance, and then to win one fight just is going to give you so much farm because you've got Alk.
It's really painful to watch Seneko with no boots trying to get out of here, and he won't be able to. Shad finds another, suddenly dominating. While that's happening,
Oh dear.
the kill of Charlie in mid. So a core going down, a support going down. The map is getting very claustrophobic as chicken fighters just getting choked out. Supreme forced to hide in the
nice
trees,
micro too.
and Shad is hunting him. He's going to walk into the Alchemist. Chemical Rage, it's worn off. Shad might just kill him solo. Backup coming in from the side. Celery, can he get in range for a boulder? It looks like he will just barely slow him down with the help of the Mortimer's Kisses. The Alk stun, not enough. Centaur Stomp is going to isolate him, kill him off again. Still no Radiance. Another costly death, and Toby diving the tier 3s. Here come
Not
the
looking
tips.
good, LD.
Viking are feeling themselves. Looking for the sub 20-minute GG again, perhaps, as Brood is pushing in the mid lane. With the Glyph committed, these tier 2s are now vulnerable. They're all alive, and they are all ready to fight.
Yep. They have taken full control of this dire side of the map.
This also means probably no bounty runes for chicken fighters again.
Yeah, there's one there in the river, but nobody on the dire side even close to it, so it should be 4 bounty runes going Vikings' way. And absolute domination here in the early to mid game.
They're going to try something desperate here. They make a move on Shad, but
Oh,
the
he missed
timing's
the
not
hoof
right.
stomp.
He misses the hoof stomp, and now they retreat. They commit the Will-O-Wisp, but do they even get the Aramis kill? He's still got stick
nice
charges.
center stun
The
too.
Chen stomp, keeping him alive. The nukes from the Keeper off the mark, and now the re-engagement. Shad charging forward, massacring chicken fighters. They are getting shredded. It's chicken dinner for Viking, and it's tasting pretty good.
Alk finds his way to a bounty rune. He's probably not even going to feel good about that one.
Almost has Radiance, but this is
Oh,
a
no,
really
this is-
late Radiance.
Yeah. I was talking about 15 minutes being like a slowish timing. 16 is what he's looking at, and every
And like you
second
said,
matters
no one else
so
is
much.
having a good game. It's not like he can catch up while the team holds the line.
Yeah.
They need him out in front.
And you don't win games like 1v5 as Alk generally, unless you're having that free farm 11-minute Radiance
He might
game.
die again here. Shad is going in on Supreme. Does have the Chemical Rage. Retreats, but look who's cutting him off. Toby, he's got the Rolling Boulder. Seneko with the Blinding Light. They can lock him down. He gets off the Spirit Vessel charge. Supreme is going to start dropping quickly. This is all mostly unhealable damage. Do they get a bash? They need one more stun. Never mind. No, they don't. Brood's coming in from behind. They lose their Alk again. Supreme is supremely screwed this game. 16-1. A 12K gold lead. It's basically
Oh,
a
man.
raffle stomp, gods.
These teams are just trading stomps. It's one of these things where it feels like they're in each other's heads with these drafts and knowing how to play, because these odds every single game are like 50-50 dead even, but so much comes down to the draft and the way, the decision making with some of these items. I love that Toby has this fast Spirit Vessel, and they just do not have an answer for Viking GG, who's just running over them right now. A ruffle stomp indeed.
The jungle completely taken over. And the map, almost entirely, chicken fighters are trapped in their base. They've got one tier 2. They've got one ward, and that's it. And I don't see how they leave. It feels like Viking have to throw.
I agree. This game, is very unwinnable by their own cards.
Will-O-Wisp deployed. They try to focus down the Broodmother. Can they possibly kill her off? Good chain stun. Brings her down low. Insatiable Hunger on cooldown. And she's still not dying yet. Even with the stolen Rolling Boulder isn't enough. Dara doing everything he can to turn this fight around. He gets like 20 stuns off in that fight collectively. And it doesn't seem to matter. Shad's still running in. Doing work. They got the Broodmother. Do they get anything
he
else?
missed the jump up.
Exorcism being committed. Shad turns. And he looks to fight. He dives to the Ghost. Is this the turnaround? Celery going for the TP. The hoof stomp from the high ground. Just a millimeter too far away as Toby will retreat as well. They got the 2 biggest cores on the side of Viking. Normally your Alk dying, you'd say a total disaster.
Look at that Rubik, his damage dealt. He did more damage than everyone.
He hit the Rolling Boulder, I think hit every hero like 2 or 3 times.
I mean, perhaps maybe we undersold Era's playmaking. The way back in this game may just be him pulling up some miraculous teamfight plays, because Other than Era's Rubik, there is very little teamfight on this Dire side. The Exorcism, usually a big teamfighting spell, but when you're constantly running away from the enemy because you're this underfarmed, it doesn't feel that scary.
They did have to buy back on Death Prophet. Exorcism is on cooldown. So Viking, not like they completely threw a fight for nothing.
Yeah.
And they did kill Alk again. But even with killing him again, suddenly working towards a BKB. He's still 2k down on the Brood, or 1.5, but, you know, he's not entirely out of the game.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Death Prophet holding onto this Nether Shawl. This is an item... Okay, no, she's changed it out. I was about to say, it's an item that lowers her armor, and magic resistance is not as value. So going for the much better Essence Ring. And we'll see what Chicken Fighters can do. I think if you're Radiant, if you're Viking, you're looking at maybe securing a Roshan before you go for another big play or try and break high ground. You keep trying to keep Chicken Fighters in their base. And, ooh, Acronym Snapfire, first item from Aramis.
Well, spitting in the
Spicy.
Ursa is a really cool play, actually.
Yeah, you want to get the back lines.
That's like one of the best heroes to throw in. Brood's not too bad, although I don't think she really will need the mobility usually.
No. I think Ursa is definitely the target you're looking for. I'm curious if there's not like some team item that might be better. I guess Pengo's buying most of the team items. You've got Pengo and Chen. These are two heroes that are gonna, yeah, they're getting piped, they're getting Spirit Vessel, Chen's getting a mech.
I think he's overstayed his welcome here in the top lane. Cookie comes out, instant TP. He'll get out in time.
Okay.
They were hunting, they had a contract with his name on it. But instead, Chicken Fighters, they will sacrifice the Roche, and they'll just use this time to farm. So Supreme, coming into next fight, maybe he'll have a BKB. I don't know how much it does for him, though, gods. They have so much physical damage from the Insatiable Hunger, from the Ursa. Like, you really need that next item or two. The AC, maybe a Basher.
Yeah. And the issue is, yeah, there is a Basher on Shad, so he's got the control to deal with an Alk BKB. And it just feels like whenever Stampede is down, you're being ran at, and there's not a whole lot you can do in terms of making plays. So, and when that Abyssal comes online, his life gets even more difficult on the Alchemist. So it's tricky. BKB doesn't solve all your problems. It solves some of them, and that's, you know, you got to go item by item. First, you're going to solve the lockdown, the control with the BKB. Then you're going to try to solve the damage with an AC.
Toby, he initiated Saberlight with the immediate stun, and this is just going to open the path for Boom to do whatever he wants to Death Prophet. Charging forward, trying to finish her off. They do get a Blinding Light back. He's playing it safe, though. Has the Aegis. The Alk's been isolated. The Rolling Thunder coming through with the Chen creeps as well. BKB not there yet. They disengage. They don't want to fight into Exorcism, not with the Rolling Thunder on cooldown.
They don't have Snapfire with them, and I think they also know when this Exorcism ends and Stampede's on cooldown, they are so much stronger. So even if your fight could go okay...
Mortimer's Kisses, laying in the damage, priming them for Boom to come in and clean up. They start with Seneko. They almost get the Era kill. He does have the Rolling Boulder again and uses it to get away to safety.
It's on cooldown now is the important thing. So even though he had it stolen, it will be either expiring or not up for 60 seconds. So
it's a minute where they could push mid. They could take the tier 2 bot.
Yep. No Stampede, no Exorcism, no Rolling Thunder on Chicken Fighters.
Oh, Gobble Up is online. Aramis with the eggs.
Let's see how we go.
I just want to see this. Come on, Mortimer.
Yep.
Give us a show.
I mean, that's a great way to catch out and deal with heroes like this Rubik.
Well, it's actually going to start with Pango getting caught and potentially deleted here. Tries to jump away with the swashbuckle. Gets back to safety. They shoot him in. The Cannonball Shad just jumping onto Supreme, blowing them up. Brings down the Will-O-Wisp. Now back for the Death Prophet. That's going to be the Alk dead, the DP dead, and probably the base too. Just like that, they deploy the Beast.
Oh, man. It's such a hilarious spell to watch. I love they added this Axe upgrade. They just go flying in. The AoE, the 400 impact damage with a movement speed slow and a stun.
And it has burn DPS of 100.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. If you stay in that, you're taking like 600 or 700 damage while being stunned, and it's not a meme.
Viking, you can call their picks cheesy, but they are making them work here as they close in on what could be the win. They're going to take the melee racks mid. They rotate to top, looking for the tier 3 there as well. Chicken Fighters, backs against the wall. So close to that top 3 finish and being alive on the final day. But I don't know if they can do it from here. They spin him in again. They send him deeper. Shad looking for follow-up kills.
He's
on
being
the Supreme. He's trying to man up on the Alk. I think he may have been spat into his own death. Where's the help? He finally uses the ultimate, but it seems like it's too late. He hops, skips, and jumps into the well. And this is where you probably are tipping your Snapfire.
You mentioned maybe one of the ways Chicken Fighters get back in is with some throws. The Ag Snapfire, perhaps the perfect way
throwing Ursa
to
into their
orchestrate
team
it.
and throwing away a kill. I didn't mean that kind of throw.
No, not the throw that Viking are looking for. It had a great teamfight set before that. Charlie,
Even with all that heal, my God, look at the damage from Boom. Spiderlings, will they finish him off?
Oh, the blinding light should be enough.
Oh, close call. A lot of gold running away there, too.
Yeah, he's got the level 20 brood now, so very scary Spiderlings. Plus 30 damage. It's a huge boost in Spiderling damage. The little baby spiders do like 9 damage. That's 15 on the big Spiderling. So you're tripling the damage of the main spiders and then like 5x the damage on the little baby spiders.
He's 5 levels ahead of Alk. That is absurd. Absolutely ridiculous.
This is not an Alk game that's going according to plan, that's for sure. But if they can just keep on stalling, get this game going, you know, Alk gets 5-6 slotted, starts pulling some Ag. That's how the Death Prophet game gets recovered, is a pulled Ag Scepter at this point.
Right.
Until that point, Death Prophet is in poverty mode.
Jesus, look at this tower bot. It's like every volley of Spiderling auto attacks. As they are ganking, and they know the Aegis is off. Oh, don't tell me they can kill the Broodmother here. This could be a massive turnaround. It is the perfect chain stun, and boom goes Boom. Tips flying back the other way. That is a really big kill. The gold is one thing, but the XP change.
Yep.
2,600 XP from that single kill.
Never say die. Unfortunately, the latest patch just last night is working against Chicken Fighters.
Yeah, it's not as much. It probably would have been like 5,000 XP before.
Less comeback gold to play around with, and that just makes life...
Oh, was it only gold?
I think it's only gold.
Okay, so never mind.
It's 50% less for those streaks. The streaks gold was massively
Supreme. They're going to fight here. Rolling Thunder, but he's got the BKB. He pops the Chemical Rage. He wants to engage. Aramis, he did already use the Gobble Up, and they're trying to fight, but the Snapfire's in the middle of it. This isn't where you want your Snapfire to be still, though. The Rolling Boulder going nicely by Toby, and now Supreme has to back away. No, maybe not. He wants to go in. He wants to engage. He's moving on to Toby. They've got the Exorcism. Mortimer's Kisses being deployed from distance, but quickly has to be canceled as he did see the Alk stun being revved up. Toby sneaks away. They're fighting without the Broodmother, and I believe he did.
Yeah, I think that's why he canceled it, because he didn't want to give it away, but he got found anyways.
And he's going to give it away and also die.
Oh, that's a big steal. There is hope. There is hope for Chicken Fighters.
Broodmother, this looks like a totally different team.
They want to kill Arrow. They know he's got the Mortimer's Kisses. This is worth diving for.
He's going to walk back in. Drops the Mortimer's Kisses at point blank. That is not how you hope to see it used. And they do get the stun here on Supreme. Chemical Rage cooling down. And he's melting to the physical damage with Brood Mama back in town. Alk is back in the fountain, and he doesn't have buyback.
It's so brutal. You see this Brood respawning at the top, like, and you're like, okay, we got maybe 15 seconds. Brood just respawned. She's got a TP to the outpost or the T1 tower and then run here. But with Chen, you just instantly recall them directly into the fight. And
that's 2 lanes.
Yes.
That might just be 3. That might be Megas. That could well be game. They've got a pipe up now on the Spiderling army, and this tower is going to drop very fast.
Yep. Trying to delay it with the blinding light, but more spiders being summoned, and unfortunately, I think Chicken Fighters are running out of gas here. They don't have their key ultimates. The Exorcism is down. The Will-O-Wisp still down as well.
They've got a Stomp Stampede, a double edge to try to deal with the Spiderlings, but Toby is there to zone them back. All he wants to do is free up his team to hit the buildings. They get the stun on Saberlight, preventing the blink. They've gotten the ranged. 1 Rax to go. Viking closing in on a championship Sunday appearance in ESL One LA Online. They're not quite there. They still need to finish off the racks, or maybe they go for the kills. Boom, he can't decide. He starts hitting the Alk. He changes his mind. Back to the melee. Now the Glyph. Working on Saberlight. This BKB is going to end. Now the Stampede. They charge forward. Can they get Celery? From the low ground comes the Mortimer's Kisses, driving them back. Supreme, he's got to retreat. He gets off a stun. It is going to lock the Ursa in position, and his BKB is also down. They get the Ursa kill. They've gotten 2 so far. They have lost the Centaur. Boom, still full HP. Still a fearsome foe in this fight. Only 20 seconds until another Rolling Thunder, and they do throw the spit out and the burn damage. Doing good work here. Aramis, nice shot by him, forcing Charlie back. Almost killing him off. The Exorcism comes through, but it might be the death knell. Chicken Fighters up against Megas, sub 30 minutes. They will get the Toby kill with the double buyback here. And in all likelihood, he's got the shield crash, but the stun. There to cancel it.
You're happy to die for this, Rex.
Death Prophet chasing Charlie, going deep. Will get Aramis.
Okay.
I don't know if he can deal with Boom, though. These spider lanes, pretty scary.
Stolen Mortimers again. We'll keep him away, but at this point, you're Viking. You're like, okay, we got what we came for. We lose a couple heroes. No big deal. They just use all their buybacks. We're in complete control. It should be an unlosable game when you got Megas. Let's just wait for next Roche. Spend our money. You know, you get a lot of gold from killing these buildings, these Raxes, and go through the motions to secure this win. You know, there's this game that often you know you've won the game before it actually ends or a GG is called, and that's because there is that tiny, tiny chance that you screw things up and throw away a game. And I think if you're Viking, you're just going to try, settle down, catch your breath, and focus on the next objective.
Which should be Roche, and it is coming in a minute and a half. They certainly have the map control. They're a great Roche lineup.
Yep.
Chicken Fighters, in terms of buybacks, sitting on just the Death Prophet buyback. Now they get the Centaur, but 2 on cooldown, including the Alk. Can't see them contesting this.
No, and this is the other nice thing. It's just picking up these next few items, like Boom gets his AC. There's just all this gold being put to use now, and they will just wait out Roshan, set themselves up to take this game. And the nice position they're in is that there is no real like big late game, oh, we're going to beat you with Mega Creeps because we've got this Gyro Rapier or Medusa with Rapier. It's an Alchemist. This is not a like comeback hero, generally speaking. And the safe lane carries a Death Prophet who's having a miserable time. So the Mega Creeps comeback is not really in the cards for Chicken Fighters, I feel like, unfortunately.
The Fountain Dive repeated feed throw with no buyback comeback, probably also not in the cards, but probably the most realistic comeback story.
Yeah. There's I don't know what the crazy scenario is, but you know, Chicken Fighters are going to play for that 0.1% chance of winning this game, I guess.
And if nothing else, they'll give you viewers at home a pretty good show, I hope.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll see him spitting Ursa into the fountain before it's said and done.
1%. It's still there, LD. Gaben says it's not over.
I can't remember the last time I saw it say 100.
There was a game a couple days ago only. We had 100. Okay. The team that had 100% did end up winning. It was
OG did it the other day. You know?
Yes, they were at 1%, I believe, or maybe 2%.
It was 1, and then it went up to 3 after they like wiped them, and he got the second rapier. I think.
Yeah. It was the.
But this is, like you said, not the same game, just hero matchup-wise.
Oh no, they had a Gyro who could go rapiers and stuff. So.
And now, just to make it even harder, they've got an Aegis, a Cheese. They're ready to rock and roll Abyssal Blade completed on Shad.
Yeah. Aramis is going back for a more standard item in the Vlads. He's like, all right, let's
load him up and spit him out. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And this is Supreme with no buyback. He's going to die out for 90. And just like that, the last straw. They've had enough. Viking are looking to close out Chicken Fighters, take that date with OG tomorrow. VP waiting in the grand finals as they farm them up inside of their well. Effigies being blown up. Buybacks coming far too slow, far too late. Centaur dead. It's a 5v4. It's a fountain dive by Shad. It's more kills for him. He wants the killing spree. Can't quite get it. Still chasing the Death Prophet. As the Gs are dropped, the game is won, and Viking, what a showing from them.